Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining Real with Linda. For those of you who have connected with me before, I was always coming up with the name The Linda Jordan Show with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. So I've settled on Get Real with Linda. I think that's what I've called it. I've changed around so many different times. So actually, it's Real Talk with Linda to be sure. So Real Talk with Linda. So thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of being an influencer. So, again, let me start off by saying thank you for joining me. It's Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions, where I help leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, organizations. I help them identify the gaps in the workplace, whether it's through leadership, communication, um, connectedness, team development, diversity, equity, inclusion. I help them identify gaps in the workplace and we come up with a solution so that we can close those gaps and be able to produce more revenue and increase productivity in the workplace. Because that's what it's all about is, it's being productive, having team engagement. And so today kind of connects with that because it's about, are you an influencer? Whether that's in your church, in your community, at work. Are you an influencer in different aspects that you work in, such as networking groups? Are you an influencer in a local community organization? So that's where we're going to focus today. So if you're listening, let me know if you're an influencer, or let me know if you want to learn more about identifying if you're an influencer or not. So I'll start off by saying that my father and grandfather were my greatest influencers. And I'm sure that you have individuals who are your greatest influencers. But for me, both of those individuals um, who were a very important part of my life, they're no longer with me, but they were very important and helped me to be the person I am today by being an entrepreneur. Both were entrepreneurs, had their own businesses. And, you know, although I grew up, went up to college, and got a corporate job, I knew in my heart I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. And that was because at the age of 12, I started selling shoes. And for those of you who may or may not have heard, but the company was called Stuart McGuire. And I had the opportunity to be a door to door saleswoman or sales girl at the time, but selling men and women's shoes door to door. And so that's where I got my entrepreneur spirit from, was from my father and my grandfather. So they influenced me from early on up until today. And I am an entrepreneur. And so that's what I really want to talk about today is being an influencer. So if you have someone who is an influencer in your life, let me know that as well. So, one of the things that I want to share with you is around there's four stages of influence. The first one is around personhood, then there's people development, there's production, there's permission, and there is position. And so, for those of you who have read the book by John Maxwell, that's where I'm getting my information from. John Maxwell is a great leader, teacher, speaker, and influencer. And so those are the five stages of influence. But most importantly, I want to share with you the different levels. And so there's actually four levels of being an influencer. The first one is modeling, the second one is motivating, the third one is being a mentor, and the fourth one is multiply. But today we're going to focus on just one, and that's the importance of being a mentor. And so, for those of you who want to learn more about that, please join me on August the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I will have an information session on being an influencer. So it'll be a 4-week session held on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time if you choose to sign up for the 4-week session. So those who are listening today and for today only, it's normally $129 per month, 129 for each for the 4 week session. But for those that are listening today, as I'm doing my calculation, I'm going to have a really, really great offer for you. And that's going to be $59 for those that are listening today. And I wrote that down so I don't forget. If you sign up today, it'll be $59 for 4 weeks. And we will go through the whole gamut around being an influencer, what it takes to do it, what do you need to do, the steps around modeling, around motivating others, mentoring others, and then most importantly, how do you multiply that? But today we're going to spend our time on mentoring. Now, I know a lot of you probably are mentors, have been mentors, or have been a mentee. I have done all three, and I worked at North Carolina State, not worked, I volunteered at North Carolina State University, where they have a business program, and I was a mentor for young freshmen who wanted to learn more about business. And so I spent probably 3 years doing that, and it was just it was mind blowing. It was exciting. I had the opportunity to talk with young students around the business world and what some of their expectations or concerns were. And people had the opportunity to connect with me and learn more about working in corporate America, but most importantly, being an entrepreneur. And so I had the opportunity to influence those young students. And you can have that opportunity as well to influence people in your community, influence people at your work, influence maybe there is someone in an organization that you work with, but you have the opportunity to do that, to be a mentor and to help others along the way. So one of the things that it indicates in this particular booklet is mentoring is pouring your life into other people and helping them reach their potential. So first, let me start off with saying that some people get mentoring and coaching confused. Well, I'm here to tell you, they're totally different. Mentoring is where you have the opportunity to share your experiences with other people, things that you have gone through. You want to share with them so they learn from you, maybe the way to do it or maybe the way not to do it. Now, on the flip side, when you are a coach, and yes, I am a coach as well, I do share some of my experiences to a certain degree, but that's only when asked. As a coach, I am there to help and guide the person along the way of what their hopes and desires or goals and objectives are. I don't intervene by saying you should do it this way because that's what I did. As a coach, that's not the step to take. So I just wanted to set the preference that coaching and mentoring are different. But today we're talking about mentoring. So yes, this is where you get the opportunity to share your experiences with other people, to share with them all that you learned and to help them learn along the way. You know, those of you that know me know I'm also a real estate investor. So I have the opportunity to take individuals who want to learn about investing in real estate, show them the property, show them how to do a deal, how to flip a property, how to have the conversation. So that's being a mentor to other people. If you are in the corporate world and you have, maybe it's the summertime, of course, we all know, but maybe there's someone who is looking for an internship. They're in college and they want to prepare for corporate America. You can be a mentor to them. Bring them into the office. If you are physically working in the workplace and no longer remote, congrats to you. So you can bring someone into the workplace and really talk about, you know, what it is to work in corporate America. Talk to them about, you know, staff meetings that may occur, you know, the dress code, whatever the case may be. And also share your experiences around projects that you've worked on, things of that nature, but answer any questions that they may have and give them guidance. So that's really about mentoring. So helping them reach their potentials. And mentoring is a beautiful thing. Now, in the mentoring section, there's also the area that we talk about. Let's see if I can find my spot. Here it is. So when we're going into mentoring, there are some benefits in doing that. And I just want to make sure that I cover that today. And this comes from another book that I've been reading. It's coaching and mentoring through the Harvard Business Essentials. Their Harvard Business Review has a booklet that I got from them a couple of years ago, but it has some great information there. So I just wanted to share with you a couple of nuggets that are in this booklet regarding mentoring and coaching. So to get back on the differences, I'll just go quickly to say that as the role of coaching is to be heavy on heavy on telling with appropriate feedback. Mentoring is heavy on listening, providing a role of being a role model, and making connections and suggestions. So I just wanted to make sure that um, I did share that with you regarding that. So the other piece that I wanted to share on mentoring is that when you take the time to mentor with someone, you are giving them knowledge that they will never get any other place. So they're going to get knowledge from you that they can't get on the job. They will get, and thanks for joining, whoever's on, put in the comments where you're listening from. But for mentoring, they're going to get knowledge that they can't get anywhere. You can't buy mentoring. But when someone takes you underneath their wing and they share their experiences with you, you learn so much more. So I'll tell you a quick story. When I worked at corporate America, early on in my career, I wanted to get to the management level. And so I asked one of the leaders if they would mentor me. And of course, they said yes. So that gave me the opportunity to have, lunch sessions with them to really talk about what it took to be a leader in corporate America. What are some of the things that I needed to do as a female, most importantly, a female of color? What are some things that I needed to do to get into leadership? Were there classes that I needed to take? Were there organizations I needed to join? Were there projects that I needed to work on? So that individual helped me along the way, and they helped me prepare for leadership. One of the things I really wanted to do, and they said, yes, you should definitely do that, was to go back and get my master's degree at the time. And so that mentor really poured into me all the things that I needed to become the leader that I became prior to leaving corporate America. For those of you that know me, and yes, I will brag on myself. I don't always do that, but I was able to finish my doctorate degree in May. After 8 years of studying, I had the ability and the tenacity to finish that. But that also came from mentoring, working with leaders in the pharmaceutical industry, and then being an entrepreneur myself, but working with other individuals. So it's important for everyone to have a mentor. It's important for everyone to have a coach. So if you have an opportunity to do that, please do so. Because if you're trying to get to point A and you're here, you can't do it by yourself. You need someone to help. You need someone to share information with, someone to bounce your ideas off so that you know you're on the right track. So if you're interested in learning more about being an influencer, how to be a better influencer, definitely join me on August the 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. The link is in the chat around how to be a better influencer, how to become an influencer. We all have influencers that we can think about, like Mahatma Gandhi. We have Mother Teresa. We have Dr. Martin Luther King. Those are great influencers that we still reflect upon. But they're influencers that we have today, and we also can be an influencer in everyone else's life. Your neighbor, again, your community, your church, your work. So join me on August the 19th. We'll talk more about how you can become a really good influencer in your network. Yes, it is free to come to the webinar. It's an informational session. But after that, if you find that you want to learn more about that, there will be a 4-week mastermind that I'll be having. And if you're listening today and you want to sign up, it is $59 for 4 weeks, just $59 for 4 weeks. Time with me, starting on August the 30th. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And have a wonderful rest of the day. And I'll see you next Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Again, Real Talk with Linda at LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. You can connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, or go to my website at www.lindajordan.com. And that's JORDON.com. Take care.